Okay, welcome back. And in this video, it's gonna be a little different. I'm not going to answer some random questions anymore, but today is gonna be a collection of past tense questions. It means that all of this question is talking about the past, which means that I also have to use the past tense in my answer, because I need to improve the reflection of my speech when it comes to past tense, because I don't really familiar with it yet, so I have to practice it a little more. So yeah, today we're gonna answer a lot of questions about the past. So let's get started. Where did you live when you were a child here? So this question of this one we're gonna be about the past, right? So we also have to use past tense. Where did you live when you were a child? So when I was a child, my house here it used to be different. It has an innovation back in the day, like 7 years ago. There was an innovation. The last house it was being like destroyed. It was being destroyed, and then the new house was being built. And this one here, it been like 7 years old already. So that's it. When it was tried, this is exact same location here. We did not move to anywhere else. We just built another house. Built another house. So yeah. Where did I live? I still live here in an exact same place. It's just a different building. Okay, so we just finished the first questions. I think it was good enough. I hope that we used the correct tense. So yeah, let's go to the next question then. What was your home when you grew up like? What was your home where you grew up like? What was your home where you grew up like? So if we are talking about the old house, the one that before the renovation, right? Renovation is a renovation, right? Yeah, renovation. So before the renovation, like 7 years ago, it's a different house. It had only one story, and all the room was all in the same level, like the living room and then the bedroom and another bedroom for us, for me and for my brother. We used to sleep in the same room there, and another room is a kitchen, and the bathroom was in the kitchen slot. So every single room was in the same stories, in the same level, because it is one story house. Because it was before the renovation, so it's pretty rare for having any kind of house that had more than two story at the time, because it was like 7 years ago. Everyone was very poor at the time. Nowadays 7 story is kind of like the standard now, but back in the day 1 story is what people usually get, what people usually got. So if we are talking more, if you want to talk more about our house back in the day, then it was 1 story house, and there was a big tree in front of my house, and I used to be there a lot, because 7 years ago I was still a child, so I used to be a lot there in public in that tree. I be into the root of that tree in front of my house, but yeah, it was like in my front yard. We have a little space on our front. So yeah, there was a tree there, and I usually be there. It's kind of fun. It didn't took so much time. It didn't take me so much time to be there, because if I wanted to go to my bathroom to take a pee, then I have to go all the way back to the back of my house. Because as I said, the first room of the house was a living room, and then it's a bedroom, and bedroom two. There was two bedrooms, and then the last room was the kitchen, and inside the kitchen there was a bathroom. So I have to go there. It was pretty far from the gate, so I decided to take the pee under the root of the tree. So it was my habit there back in the day too. And that house, it was pretty cozy, but yeah, it was small but cozy. Anyway, I couldn't recall much about the memory and the feeling there anymore, because 7 years ago already, so it's really hard to recall the memory there. Okay, so next question then. Where were you born? I was born and raised here in the same exact city I am talking to you guys here, where I am right now sitting at. It's the Nang City. I've been here for like more than 18 years old. More than 18 years. This is my hometown, and also where I am living right now. So I was born here, and I'm still living here. But wait, I want to check for this. Was born or was, yeah, this is what I am looking for. I was born, yeah, there's no ed. The past tense of born is born. Okay, understandable. Born is the past tense of bear. I think they spell exactly the same. Yeah. Okay, keep continue then. Where did you grow up? Where did you live when you were dry? Where did I grow up? Then, if we're talking about like when I was like less than 7 years old, then it was in the old house, the one that I will just talk to you guys. Do you still remember that? It was like 7 years ago. That was the house that I spent my childhood on. Spent my childhood for on. So yeah, that's it. Where do you live when you are dry? Yeah, exact same city here and this exact same neighborhood too. What did you do last weekend? So in the last weekend, let me check my schedule first. I think that in the last weekend I just finished my last exam. Yeah, exactly correct here. So in the last weekend, it was also the last week that I had to take my final end term exam. Because I am a college student here, so last week also the last week that I had to took my ending exam. So I am currently in my summertime now. So the last week is kind of a little annoying because I still have to like review a lot of information to prepare for the exam. So the last weeks were kind of annoying. What did you do last weekend, right? So yeah, just finish that question. What did you like doing when you were dry? What did you like doing when you were dry? So back in the day when I was still dry, right? Maybe let's just say when I was in elementary school, I used to play a lot, not from gaming, not from the computer, but I used to play with my neighborhood kid, my childhood friend, about some traditional game like hide and seek and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty fun there. And it was pretty like healthy because nowadays kids usually spend time on playing video games, which is pretty like harmful to their eyes and also physical health. Like they didn't move much, they don't move much. They just sit in the exact same place for hours, so it definitely affect a lot of issue on their body. um did you do much with your leisure time? Did you do much with your leisure time when you were younger? um did you do much with maybe the question is about did I spend a lot of time, my leisure time, on studying or doing some stuff, or rather you just let it to pass by or something? Then I would love to say that nah, because I was young at that time, so all of the leisure time was spent on relaxing, I guess, because leisure time at that time I didn't want to studying. I didn't want to study or do anything else that is kind of annoying to me as a child. So all of the leisure time back in the day was used to playing some traditional game. I just want to clarify that out the traditional word because I want to separate it from the gaming. The standard way of playing right now is gaming. But back in the day it was like traditional game like hide and seek. It was fun back in the day. So I did not do much thing. I did not do much thing in my leisure time when I was young. I was just spending all those time, leisure time, playing game with my neighborhood friends. That's all. When was the last time you went out? What did you do? Went out? Let's go outside or something. When was the last time? Maybe like we can say about like this morning, I guess. So in this morning, I went out to buy a breakfast. It was like banh mi in Vietnam. Banh mi in Vietnam. I think banh mi is an actual word in English community now. So I got some banh mi this morning as breakfast, and that was also the time I went out this morning. Yeah. So that was the last time, and I have not been anywhere else till now. I'm here speaking with you guys at my home here. Speaking alone though, there's no you guys here. I don't even know whether I have any audience here or not. What do you use to travel to school? So currently I am still a student, and if you are talking about the bus, I don't know, but I used to walk. I used to walk by foot to school when I was still like elementary school and middle school and high school. I used to walk to school because all of the school was pretty near my house here, and it is still here. Um, the elementary school, the middle school is also the same thing. Yeah, I study my elementary school and middle school at the same school. And when I get into high school, when I was in high school, I I didn't walk anymore. I didn't go to the school by foot anymore because it was pretty far. It's like 7 kilometers. No, not seven, but 2 kilometers from my high school to my house. So I used to use motorbike at the time. Motorbike that use electricity because I was not 18 years old at the time, so we cannot use a motorbike that use oil, gas. So electricity was the only solution. And now, if we're talking about now, like from last few months, when I was still have to go to school, when I still had to go to school, I'm currently use motorbike but using gasoline, petrol, not as electricity anymore. So that's the vehicle. Did you used to go abroad on holiday when you were younger? Okay, keep continue now. When was the last time you went out? How did you used to travel to school? I think there's some duplication here. This question is kind of similar to something. Oh, I think that it was the last question though. Um, did you used to go abroad on holiday when you was younger? Nah, it never happened before. Go abroad, which means that spending holiday in a foreign country, right? No, it have not ever happened before. I have never went to any abroad country at all, let alone holiday, because I think that nah. So that's it. Going abroad is something that's also one of my dreams right now. Yeah. What did you want to be when you grew up? What did you want to be when you grew up? So we are talking about our dream, my dream. Yeah. So back in the day when I was still a child, I wanted to become someone who is famous. That's all. It's kind of simple, right? I wanted to make myself into the list of history. I want to enroll myself in the history before I die. That was my dream when I was younger, when I was a child. That was my dream. That was my dream, which was pretty cool, right? I just wanted to be famous. That's all. Got enlisted into history. Everyone had to know about me. Have to know about me. That was my dream. And if you want to be more specific, I think that I wanted to become like I don't know. There was no an exact job or career that I wanted to become or anything. I just wanted to become famous. There's no specific position back in the day. So yeah. What was your favorite subject at school? Your favorite subject at school, and it was, huh? What do you like about it? What was your favorite subject at school? So when I was a child, let's just say in middle school, then English was one of my favorite subjects, and it is still now. English, right? Because I was pretty good at English. But we are talking about English at school here. It is pretty different from actual English that we use on communication every day. So about English at school, it was and still is kind of about it's mainly about grammar. That's all. Every single exercise test, exam back in the day and night right now, it's just focusing on grammar only. There was no speaking at all, so it's got a fuck. And I was also good at that time because I got pretty good grade in every single exam on English. But yeah, because the exam was about grammar only, so it's kind of sad because you can see that my spoken English is not good. It was because the system that they are teaching English back in the day was only about grammar, so it's kind of sad. But anyway, what did you like about it, right? I like it because it's a language and the way we learn it, and also the subject is kinda different from the other. Like math and physics, it was totally different. So language is something. It's like it's a separate subject in comparison with the other. So it was kinda like more interesting, right? So that why I like it. I liked it. Um, were there any subjects you didn't like? Why? There's a lot, but I want to tell you guys about the subject that is most hated by me, and that was history, and it is still now. I don't like it at all about history, and the reason why I hated it so much, was because history, the way that they taught us, and also they force us to learn by that way, to be able to nail the exam, was to to memorize all of the events in the book, and that was so terrible, and it is still is now. For some reason, they just think that about history we need to memorize them all. Even right now too, even now they still have that kind of mindset. We need to memorize every single thing in the book, in the notebook, and then when it comes to exam, we need to recall it and fill all the gap, like on which years that the events occupy and stuff. So that was terrible, and I didn't like it. And that's also why I got really bad grade on every single exam on history. Okay, let's keep continue. This page is pretty like not so much, right? There's only 12 pages here and not so much question about it. So yeah, I think I can finish it fast. Did you get on what is what you did like? Did you get on well with your parents, brothers, or sister when you were dry? I cannot really tell, but I think that the relationship between me and my brother, my family, I only have my brother, my older brother. My family has 4 members: my parents and me and my brothers, my older one. And I think that our relationship is not really close though, but yeah, it's still good. There's nothing bad about it. But we don't confide to each other much, and it is I think it was still the same back in the day too. When we was a try, I couldn't recall much memory between us though. But I think that it was not really cool though. It's just normal like that. But yeah, if we were talking about whether it is good or not, then I can say that it was kind of neutral. There's nothing bad. That was nothing really cool. Okay, when was the last time you met your extended family? Extended family, what do you mean by that? Have you searched for that word now? Meaning? A family extend beyond the nuclear family, including okay, extended family, understandable. That's cool. That's the first way. That's the first time. This is the first time I encountered this word. Cool. The way that they explain this, they translate it to Vietnamese, doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't solve any problem. When I read this definition, I even have more questions about it. When was the last time you met your extended family? So that's a coincidence because just like 2 days ago, like Sunday, the last week Sundays, all my family went back to my hometown, like my dad hometown. It was like the place where my dad was born and raised. So we was there because my cousin who is like the son of my uncle, and the uncle is the brother of my dad, okay, whatsoever. So we went back to our dad hometown to attend for a wedding ceremony, because my cousin is getting married. So that was also the last time that we met my grandparents, which is about in my dad's side. It's not about my mother's side. The grandparent who is the parents of my dad, okay. And it was just like Sunday last week, so it was like 4 days ago or something. That was such a coincidence that I encountered this question, right? And what was the occasion? It was for a wedding. It was for a wedding, my cousin's wedding. So all my family was there. Did you enjoy English at school? Not at all, bro. Even it is still fun. It was still fun, but because the English at school was completely different from an actual English that I wanted to master. I want to master here. I want to master English to the point that I can communicate just like a native. But English at school didn't help me to reach that level. English at school only taught us about grammar, and that's the fucked up thing that I don't like about it. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy the time studying English at school though. How did you celebrate your last birthday? So it was last year's, and I couldn't recall much about it. But it was like because I'm not really an extrovert, so I didn't want to invite so many people of my friends or my relatives to attend my birthday at all. So it just happened. In my family, we ate out. We just went to some restaurant or something and had a meal there, and that was how I celebrate my birthday last year. It was pretty simple, just my family, that's all. I didn't want to do anything much about it because birthdays doesn't make sense to me. I mean, like, birthdays doesn't have anything special to me though. When did you last go to a festival? A festival? This is gonna be a tough one because I don't really know what is a festival here. It's like Tet holiday or something. So, and I didn't even want it to go to Tet holiday. It just happened. Everyone attend to Tet holiday, right? But we are talking about an actual festival, like someone hold it. Then maybe it was like I couldn't recall, so I think I will skip it though. Have you visited many foreign countries? What was your favorite place and why? Have you visited many foreign countries? Okay, we will have to answer each of these questions in order, right? Have you ever visited many foreign countries? Actually, I did, but it was like pretty near my city. It was like the one that is right next to my country, and it was Laos. Do you know that country? It was Laos. It was right next to my Vietnam country, and I visited it there for like just like a few hours, like 1 hour or something. It was just on the border though, not really go into the country itself. So that was the trip. What was your favorite place and why? Favorite place about what? About the country or foreign country, right? Okay, so this is gonna be a little tough here to talk about because favorite place. I think that the question is about the favorite foreign countries. I have never been to many foreign country at all, and even the last country that I was just I just talk about the Laos, right? I was just there for like 1 hour though. I have been there for 1 hour only, so I cannot really tell what I like about it. But definitely, just on the border, there was a little bit different from the culture than because so it was pretty cool. But if you want me to tell you about a favorite foreign country, then I couldn't tell because I don't. Even I was in Laos for 1 hour, but I couldn't know much about it, so I cannot really tell whether I want it or not. But yeah, so I don't know what's my favorite foreign country. But I think that even I have not moved to so much foreign country, but I think that my favorite one that and also the one that I would love to be able to visit soon in the future or maybe live there is definitely the one that everyone wants to be in, and that is the US. Obvious, right? The US is like one of the biggest country right now, so everyone wants to go there. Have you ever had any problems while you were traveling? When I am not thinking or having any kind of issue with the time, it went by so fast. Not gonna lie. Have you ever visited? Let me check this out. Have you ever had any problems while you were traveling? Um, I don't know. While we're traveling, maybe it's not only about travel to foreign country, but maybe in a different city or travel to some place in my city here is still good, right? So if we are talking about that aspect, then I did encounter a lot of problems during the trip, and I want to tell you about this specific trip here to my. Maybe let's just say I'll talk to you guys about the trip to my grandmother, that is like the mother of my mom, and we went to her city where she lived, and it was like 700 kilometers apart from my city here where my family lived, where my family and I lived. And on that trip, it's like for some reason my dad decided to took the ride. He decided to roll the car himself because my family owe an old car, old car whatsoever. So my family decided to took the car ourselves to the city. It took almost an entire day. It's like we started at 6 a.m. and we like went to our destination at 3 p.m. And during the trip, there was a lot of things happen. It's like there's a lot of traffic and stuff. Maybe that was the problem. And it was bored. It was very boring because sitting on the car for more than 6 hours, and that was sick, man. And yeah, just sitting on the car for 6 hours to travel to the city, so it was kind of annoying. It's so boring, right? So it's also a problem. Okay, so next question then. Have you been to any English speaking countries? What do you think about it then? It is still a dream for me to be able to go to some English speaking country. I have not ever been there before. Australia or the US or any kind of country, I have never been there before. So it is still my dream, and my answer is no, I have not been to any of them. What do you think about it, Tom? What do you think about it, Tom? Maybe I can imagine about what I could feel like when I actually put my foot onto that place. Is that it's definitely stoked me out. I will feel so half up because it's my dream, and when it comes there, it's definitely mean that my dream comes true, right? So definitely awesome. And I can speak with the people there because my current spoken English is not really good, but I think it's good enough for me to have a good conversation with people. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have some conversation with them, with the people there, definitely, bro. Have you traveled much? Nah, right for now, I don't have any intention to travel or anything. I want to study to improve my hard skill a little bit more, so traveling is not something in my bucket list right now. Definitely in the future, I have to do that. Have you visited any foreign country? Foreign country, okay. So I think this question is exactly the same with this one here. It just changed the word money to Annie. I think it has a little different nuance here, but in general it has the same question meaning. So just skip it. What is the song? What's the sound? There's some noise around here now. Why did you use to go on holiday when you was dry? Why did you use to go on holiday when you was dry? So when I was dry, I still had to be like before my family to go to wherever they went to. So when it comes to holiday, which means that my parents didn't have to go to work at the time. So I think that the place that they almost always decided to go is was their hometown. So I was just with them because I will try. I didn't even care where I will go. So we're just gonna get back to our hometown, like my parents' hometown. That was usually where my family spend our holiday to on. Okay, so I think we just finished all of this question here. Say any other questions you thought of with the class. What phrase can you use to talk about the past? Used to and when I was younger. Okay. Now we come to the past two, speaking about two style questions. Okay, so let's try to do this. It's by, oh my god, this one. There's tons of question here. But it's good, the more question it has, the more answer I can answer. What the fuck was that? Talk about a toy you had when you were a child, saying how old you were when you had it, how you used to play with it, how long you had it. Oh, that's the last question makes sense here. And say you would give the same toy to your old child if he or she was the same age of you. And why? I have to think about this a little. Wait me a second. Okay, so let's get back to our chat. Talk about a toy, right? you had when you were a child, saying how old you were when you had it, how you used to play with it, and how long you had it. And say you could give the same toy to your old child if he or she was the same age or not, and why. Okay, about the toy when I had when I was a child. It's gonna be a little difficult here when it comes to a toy, right? And because there was no toy that really attacked to me close enough for me to have a really like strong memory with it. So it's kinda hard for me to recall any kind of memory right now. That's why I'm a little hesitant right now. But yeah, maybe I can tell you guys about this toy. It's not really close to me. Like I didn't even have a chance to play it. But okay, I want to talk about this one now. So this toy was bought by my dad, but it was a toy for my brother though. It was not really for me because I was kind of pretty young at that time. I was like 4 years old or something, and my brother is like 6 years older than me. So at that time he was like 10. So the toy was a helicopter, but it was actually be able to fly up, and it was for my brother to play. I was just be able to look at him playing the toy though, but it was pretty cool. The helicopter it can fly itself. It could fly on itself, so it was really something that was impressive to me. But nowadays, something that can fly like a drone or a helicopter that can fly is nothing new anymore nowadays. But back in the day, like when it was fall, which means that it was like 15 years before, it was pretty impressive to have the kind of toy, and I bet that it was so fucking expensive. Not gonna lie. And I didn't even have a chance to touch the remote, the controller, so it was all about the memory of watching the toy. And yeah, hence I didn't even have a chance to play with it, just watching my brother to play with it. And I believe that it was just like the toy, it lasts for like a few weeks before it is all broken, because all the toy they were gonna destroy the toy very quick. So it lasts for about like 1 week before the toy just become a charge. So yeah, became a charge. Okay, I need to really careful about the tense here. And if we are talking about a toy, I would definitely want to buy one for my children. But if they want to have the same feeling as I was back in the day, they definitely need to get rid of using phone to scroll through Facebook and TikTok. Because the reason why I had a good feeling with that, it was very impressive to look at the toy, let alone playing it, was because back in the day when I was that age, there was no phone. Yeah, phone was not even invented at the time. Hence, there was no internet, there was no TikTok. So it was really impressive to see that thing. But nowadays, at the very young age, children can already have some interaction with internet and Facebook and YouTube and stuff. So looking at a drone like that, looking at a helicopter that can fly itself, it's nothing really cool to them. It's like there's just some random toy. They don't even want to look at them. It's like there's nothing interesting about that. They just want to use TikTok, and that's what they are all about. So definitely, kids now they don't have the same feeling, the same emotion as me back in the day when I look at the toy. And I think that if I want to buy the toy for my child, definitely I will. I would love to because it's definitely not amazing. But also I will also have to control the time of them using the phone, or I think that it is prohibited for them to use any kind of phone. If they are my child, I will like prohibit them to use a phone. Is gonna be something extremely stricted. They will not have a chance to use the phone until they get into grade 7 or something around that. And that's what I will do to my child if I gonna have some. So okay, that was good enough for the question, right? I think we're just like 4 minutes or something, but I think it's okay for this question. I think the past two questions only last for 2 minutes though, so it was pretty long, not gonna lie. Okay, next question then. Talk about someone from history you admire. You should mention where and when they lived, what their main achievement was, why you admire them, and say whether you think there is anyone similar living now or not, and why you think that. Someone from history, where and when they live, what their main achievement were, and why you admire them. Okay, so I would love to tell you guys about this dude. Yeah, he is from history now because he just died like 5 years ago or something. And this man here, he's the master of my idol. I have three idols in total, and I think that three of my idols also idol this dude. He's like the genius, he's like the god or something to them. Like this man, his name is Hugh Hefner. I think that maybe a lot of people gonna know about him. Hugh Hefner, he's like it just opened a new era for everyone who wants to pursue his lifestyle. And three of my idols also pursuing it. That's why I also idolize them, and that's also the lifestyle that I will pursue in the future. And this dude, he is not in the same country as mine. I am an Asian, but this dude here, he is an American. He's live in the U.S. So it's pretty weird that I admire him. I know about him. I know someone who is in my country, but whatsoever. The topics doesn't require to be any specific place, right? And the main achievement of him was like he was the one who invented a press called the Playboy press. It was like a magazine that posts a lot of like 18 plus posts there, 18 plus stuff there, and he was one of the most famous on his field at the time. And now he is still very famous for what he did. He was like a playboy. He had a mansion with more than 20 girls, 20 hot girls in that mansion every time, which means that he also like make love with all of them. Definitely, bro, it's a like inevitable, and that's also the reason why I really admire them. And also, three of my idols right now who's also admire him, Hugh Hefner. His lifestyle is like hedonism. It's like that pursuing what you enjoy in life, pursuing the pleasure, which means that in this case, it's like having sex with a lot of women. But yeah, it's not all the thing that he do in his life though. Rather than that, he's also a millionaire and stuff. So yeah, that's why I admire him a lot. The lifestyle. And currently, I already told you that three of my idols also admire him, idolize him, and that also means that he's all of them also pursuing his lifestyle, right? Yes, it's true. All of them they fucks a lot of women every single day, and yeah, so that's also the answer for you. Whether there's anyone that's having a similar like him, who has a similar lifestyle like him living now or not. There's a lot. Not only that three dudes that I'm idolized right now, but definitely there's a lot more that I don't know about. But yeah, this lifestyle is something that I am pursuing right now, definitely. Okay, so I think that's good enough here. I hope that the tense was good enough. I didn't mix them up or something, right? I will work on that. Okay, so the next question, let's go. Bring it up for me. Describe a school. Describe a school friend or school friend you had when you was younger. You should say what that person looked like, what that person was like, and what that person like, and say whether you are still friends with that person or not and why. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about this dude. He was in the same class as mine when I was in high school, but I was not really a friend with him. Like we was just a classmate, but we did not have any interaction much because there was 40 more than 40 students in the class, so not everyone in that class was like got close friends or anything. We just know each other, that's all. But everything changed when it come to our senior year. At this, we for some reason we became so much more close than ever before. And I will tell you guys about this dude soon. Now talking about this dude, it was like classmates of me when I was in high school, which it was just like 1 year ago. I am now a freshman, so it just happened a years ago. And this dude here, I'm not gonna lie, he actually changed my perspective of life. He was like typical bad boy that if you guys want to mention to indicate about, then he was kind of like a bad boy. And for a bad boy, you know that a bad boy is not really good at studying, right? So the same holds true for this dude. he was not really good at taking exam and studying. Hence, his grade at the exam was very bad at every single subject, and I helped him about that. In my last years in high school, we sit in the same desk. Like in Vietnam, in Asian country, usually a desk contains two people, two students. So I was with him. It was like seatmate. So I usually help him with the exam. With the exam, I just gonna let him to copy my answer. That's all. That was kind of simple because we was in the same desk, you know. So it was kind of simple for him to look at my paper exam and then just copy it. But I feel exactly like normal about it. I actually like it was kind of something I accept. Like there was nothing to talk about that much. I accept it, and it was kind of normal to me. And him, the stood here. In the other hand, he actually changed my perspective because I was like pretty shy and I was kind of like a loser, if you want to say about that. I was kind of a loser in my high school. The perspective and the personality I possessed at the time was terrible. And with that kind of mindset and perspective, I definitely cannot become the one that I wanted to become now, want to become right now. So I was a loser at the time, but with him, he actually changed my perspective. So I owe him a lot, right? His perspective, his personality, I wanted to like train myself to become like him. So yeah, that's what I want to tell you guys about that. This dude is actually pretty special. Like I really appreciate that he like happened to be here in my life to change my life, to change my perspective. Or if I have not ever met him, then actually I am still a loser right now. The perspective, the mindset is a loser, cannot become like Hugh Hefner anymore, the person who I just told you guys before. And right now we're still friends, but we don't meet each other much more because we are in a separate university right now, and I'm not ready yet. I have not transformed myself to become a bad boy yet, but my perspective is ready. It just needs some action now, but before to put some action to become an actual bad boy, I have to improve my English first in order to do that. So yeah, definitely in the future, we're gonna be a very close friend when I become a bad boy myself. But yeah, my perspective and mindset is ready yet now. So I really owe him a lot. I'm really appreciate that. Okay, so now I think it's good enough for this question. Let's go to the next one. Talk about a period of history or incident in history that you are particularly interested in. You should describe what it is, why it is interesting to you, and how, when you first became interested in it. A period of history or incident in history, right? That you are particularly interested in it. You should describe about a history or an incident. Say whether there are any present events or chance which are likely to be just as interesting. Let me try to read this passage again. Say whether there are any present events. Oh shit. Whether there are any present events or chance which are likely to be just as interesting for people in the future or not, and why you have that opinion. Which are likely to be just as interesting. So just as interesting as the incident that we are going to talk about, right? There's any present events or chance, and why you have that opinion. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad at history, so I cannot really tell much. But if you even want me to tell about any kind of events right now that may be as interesting as the incident in the history, what the fuck, man? This topic is so fucking tough, not gonna lie. Because of the last question there, I need to find some recent events that is similar with the incident or something in the history. And as interesting as it was, oh, it's gonna be tough here. I actually need to find about some history here, some events here now. It's not gonna just pop up in my head like the other topic. History of history, periods of history, a periods of history. Let me try this out. What is the incident here? Come on, bro. Okay, I think that Oh my god, finally something just come up as my mind in my mind, yeah, and this is especially interesting here. So I would love to talk to you guys about this event. It happened just like in 1917 or something around that, which is pretty late here. It's pretty like close to this place, right? Close to this era. It's not so long ago. It was just like 100 years ago. There was an incident that three planes. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay, just destroy my life, but it's still alive. Okay, whatsoever. Let's get back to this question. So it was like 100 years ago. There was three planes that was like a terrorist that took in three planes, and two of them just like head into the building. The two of the planes head into the building, and that incident is still remembered till now. It was very tragic. A lot of people died there. And the building too. The building, it was like one of the tallest one in the city, on the country, on the planet, and it was like being pushed out because of two planes. And the last one, the third one, was being like people on the plane managed to take back the plane, so it didn't hit the destination. But yeah, everyone in the plane died. So that's the incident. And that incident, it was so fucking interesting that till now people still remember them and make it become a meme. And become a meme here is because it's very popular and everyone feels interesting about that. And I don't really feel interested about that, but it is something that is interesting to everyone. I don't feel like anything that's so special about this event. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of interesting and it's very tragic. And nowadays, just like a few weeks ago, there was exact the same thing. It is about terrorism, and it happens. About the plan, it happened in the U.S., but the one that just happened a few weeks ago, it happened in Japan, which is pretty rare because in Japan, people is not allowed to possess a gun, but the vice prime minister, is it so prime minister, right? The prime minister, the prime minister there, the vice prime minister there in Japan got shot in the public when he was there to raise a vote for him, to become a prime minister again. So he got shot in public, and it's a very rare in the Japan history because gun there is very like strictly under control of the government. But for some reason, the terrorist managed to make like a handmade gun. The gun was handmade. It was like crafted manually, and it shot and it killed the vice prime minister. So it's kind of similar, right? It's all about terrorism. So yeah. Um. So we just finished another questions. It was tough, but I'm not gonna lie. And okay, I'll get back to you guys to the next one soon. Wait me a second. Okay, so let's keep continue with the next question. Talk about the last time your whole family was together. You should mention where you were, what you did, and how long you were together, and say if you think your family will get together again soon or not, and why. Okay, so let's talk about this. So because the question is kinda vague, because family usually together already at their home, right? At dinner time or something. But I think it's a coincidence or something. But I think this question is for me because my family is not always together. My dad, he doesn't work here in the same city as us where we live, but he work in the next city, so we don't usually see each other much or together. And it's only happen on the weekday, on the weekend, like in the Saturday and Sunday when he get back home, because that's also the time that he doesn't have to work, so he go back to our house, and that's also the time that we are together. And also, yeah, right now too, not also the past. Oh, but the topic is talking about the past. The last time your whole family was together. But I think that we can switch the questions into the current time, right? I don't know. So I think that currently it's Fridays. So maybe in this afternoon or tomorrow he's gonna get back here, and that's also the time we could get back together too. And how long? I think it's gonna last for 2 days because, as I said, is have to go back to his city to work in Monday, right? So in the afternoon or Sunday, he have to take a ride to the city, back to the city, to his city. So yeah, only on weekend. Got annoying. Um, let's see if I have anything to talk more about this. Nah, it's about my family, so I don't want to talk much about that. Okay, let's skip it and move to the next one. Describe a friend that you haven't met for a long time. You should say why you haven't seen that person when you last met and you think that person has been doing since that time. What you think the person has been doing since that time, and say whether you think you will meet him or her again in the near future or not, and why. Okay, so I wonder whether you guys still remember about the last two that I just told you guys in the last question. So there was a lesson that talking about a friend, right? Yeah, a school friends here. So in this one, I will also mention about that dude. So it's been like a year now. It's been a year that we have not met each other. Have not met each other. It's been a year that we have not met each other. And the reason is it's kind of simple. I am now a college student, first year college student. So I think that you can already guess the reason here. It is because we are in the different university, and also I don't have much chance to hang out with him. So that's the reason why we have not met each other since then. And the last time we met each other was when we had to take some pictures for a ceremony for graduate from high school. So that was also the last time we took some pictures together with the whole class, not only with him. And we were talking about what he been doing, what he has been doing all the time since that time. Then I think that he took a lot of part-time job or something. He posts pretty frequent in his timeline in Facebook. So I think that's what he did all the time. He also study. He is currently studying in a different university. So besides of taking the part-time job, he also had to study and take the exam in that school, in that university. So besides of taking part-time job, he also study in that time in that university. So basically that's it. I guess I may be traveling to some city or something, but I don't know about that much because it's private life, so I don't know. And I think definitely in the future we will meet each other, and I think that we can become a very close friend because he was the one who changed my perspective, my personality. But it's just like about mental only. Currently, I have not put any action to change for myself yet. So in the future, when I put some action and become the one that I want to become like, then definitely at that time we will become very close. I hope, I suppose so. I don't know. Okay, next question then. Describe a relative you haven't met for a long time. Nah, about family, I don't want to mention about that. So let's go. Let's keep that. Describe a friend who has played an important part in your life. Damn, it's that dude again, bro. How you met this person, how long you have known them, and how you spend or used to spend time together, and what they have been important part of your life. Why is all of this about friends you have had or had for a long time? I think we skip all of this shit though. It is the same topic, so I don't want to talk about that anymore. It's gonna get like duplicated. Talk about bad you or someone you know used to have. You should mention what it looked like, what it liked doing, and how it needed to be looked after. And so if you like to have a similar pet in the future or not, and why. Okay, so I think I can take this about a pet, right? So my uncle is the older brother of my dad, and he used to have a dog, but the dog was lost. It was lost. It was not die. It was lost because it was being kidnapped by some stranger. So it was an incident. It was kind of sad for him. But now that he had a different dog now. But I wanted to talk about the dog who was kidnapped. Right? Is there any other words for that? Kidnap. Synonym. Abduct. Yeah, abduct. He was abducted. Yeah, just recall that myself. The dog was abducted, and it was kind of sad to him. Not for me though, because I didn't have much memory with the dog. But the dog was fun. It was like it's just a dog, and it was completely dark. Like His fur was completely black. There's no other color rather than black. So it looks kind of like, you can say it's kind of ugly because there's only one color and it's black, and it's like the least favorite color for a pet to be. And because a dog here in Asian country, so they also have to adapt to a new kind of food, and it is rice. Pet here, it is rather than dog or cat, they have to eat a lot of rice, just like human here. It's kind of sad for them because I think that animal, they are not like they are not supposed to eat rice. So, but because they live in Asian countries, so they have to eat that a lot. Because I know that in Western country, the food that pet like dog and cat usually eat is like some hard food from the bag that the bag that bought from some grocery store or something, but it definitely not rice, and usually some meat too, some bottled meat. Is that how you say it? But in Asian country, there's nothing more than rice. Usually there's only rice. There's no other food like meat and the rice as well. Because when developing country, everyone is poor, so there's not much food for their pet. So it's gotta sad for them. But yes, they have to accept that though, because they were born here in Asian country, so there's no other way. And say you would like to have a similar pet in the future. Now, I do love animal like cat and dog, but because I don't want to wear any sandal and in my home. But if you want to have a pet, you need to let it to go outside. You cannot just lock them in the house. You need to open the door to let them go walk outside. But when you walk outside, the food is definitely so dirty, and I don't want to bring all those things back in my house because we don't know what's on the street. Maybe it's from a dead rat, or it's from some poop, and then from the feet, it's gonna bring all those shit into the floor in our house, and that's the thing that impede me from having a pet. But I really like it, but I don't know how to solve that problem. I don't want to get all of those shit and virus from dead rat on the street onto my floor in the house, because I also don't want to wear any cat sleeper in my house. I already said that, right? So that's the thing. I don't know how to solve that. So currently, I don't think I will gonna have any bad soon until I know how to solve that problem. Then I definitely don't. I'm not going to have any bad. Okay, 4 more minutes. So let's try to talk about one more thing. Talk about a job you or someone did in the past. You should say what the duty were. This is gonna be a little tough here. What clothes and equipment were needed, and say if you think it was a good job or not, and why. This is gonna be a little bit tough here. Oh shit. Because it's kind of tough, so I think I will skip it or something. I think to think about it first. I have paused the recording. I need to spend at least 1 minute to think about this, and then I will talk to you guys. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about this girl. She is older than me, but in the past, she took a job as a tutor to teach some kind of subject that I don't really know. I don't know what subject she taught, but it was a tutor. She was a tutor, but now she's not a tutor anymore. But about the job, then when she was in college, right? So when she was in college, she took a job as a tutor to teach some children like in middle school and stuff. And she had to go to their house to teach them. And the work was about like she just have to act it like a teacher and teach them subject. That's all. It's kind of simple if you have a good knowledge about the subject that you are teaching. And the workplace is the house, is the children's house, their parents' house, because the tutor, they have to go there. Clothes, she just had to wear some formal clothes, nothing too specific though. Maybe just some like long pants will be enough, and a good shirt, and a good knowledge on her brand too. Maybe you want to talk about that. And I think tutor is a really good job. You can earn a lot of money from that. And I think that the job is not really harsh to people. You just need to teach people to teach children. And the subject there at that level is kind of simple. You don't have to make a lot of effort on teaching them at all. So I think it would job with a good salary. And I think everyone should take a chance to take that, to have some side money to use as a college student. Okay. And I think that tutor is also what we're going to take soon, because I'm now a freshman, and in the next year I will become the second year's college student, and definitely I need to find some part-time job, and tutor is one of them. It's the one that I put on the priority tab. I would love to prefer being a tutor, because part-time job, there's no other thing that's as good as tutor though. Very high salary. If you have the knowledge, you have a good knowledge. And I think that I will use my English here. I will become a tutor in English, or maybe a teaching assistant too, but the salary is very promising. Okay, so I think that's enough for this topic too. And we now currently at the page 6. In the next video, and we will talk about this one here. Something you used to help you in the past work and study. Damn, there's so much the words used here. But this is what we are going to answer next in the next video. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.